On back, it was a 3-run, 2-out. Things go for him as we move forward. But that was the only runs he gave up, and the Rays did in a 3-1 defeat. That was the Rays' only loss in Toronto, so he's looking at Astros. And he'll face a lineup that is loaded with right-handers, and we'll see how Ryan Pepio fares against them. Rays in their home whites, away grays worn by the Astros, as Jeremy Pena strides to the plate, striding back to the microphone on the...
Thank you very much, and great to be back with you once again. And the 3-game series, then an off day, then another 3-game series against Toronto, and another one against the Twins, a 9-game homestand in 10 days. We're glad you're with us as the Rays get it all going tonight. Here's the first pitch of the game to Jeremy Pena, riding up and in. It shoots off of his bat, carrying off to the right, and we're underway at 7:05. So the count is 1 strike to Jeremy Pena. Pepio returns, swinging a line drive to the left of shortstop Taylor Walls, who gets it on one quick hop and throws on the first to retire Pena. Pena, who's really been thriving in the leadoff position. And now we got to look at Isaac Paredes in his return to the Rays. All right, here is Isaac coming off a really impressive week. 3 homers in the last 6 games, and 2 of them 1 games late. He's got 7 home runs, 24 runs batted in. And the pitch is up and outside to him, ball 1. Isaac, and it became a running gag with the group, does not hit the ball in the air with any authority to the opposite field. Everything is always pulled. And there's another one, line drive deep and foul off the loge area. Behind the third base bag. He is a master at that, out in front of pitches, and we saw it for almost 400 games as a member of the Rays. They always teased him, would he ever hit a home run to right, maybe even in Yankee Stadium? Well, here at Steinbrenner Field, with a very short right and right center, this might be the only place that it's possible. The pitch is high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Paredes. Open stance on the right side. The Rays' lone all-star from a year ago. And Paredes checks a swing, and it goes foul off to the right. And it's even up at 2-2.
Always sits right up on home plate, too. So even a pitch that's right on the outside corner or off the plate, he has the ability to pull.
He has 79 career home runs, and every one of them is pulled. It's 2-2. Pepio steps off the rubber.
Understands the strike zone like few do, too. He very rarely swings at balls.
And we saw his eye get better over the years. Swinging a line drive in the left for a base hit. Paredes a hot hitter, and he singles for the first hit of the series.
Keep him in the ballpark, you're fine with that. As we set the defense for the Rays, Curtis Mead will hold Paredes on at first. Second baseman Brandon Lau. Taylor Walls at short. Junior Caminero at third. It's Christopher Morel in left. Cameron Meisner in center. And Jose Caballero in right. And Danny Jansen behind the plate. And those blues must mean Jose Altuve is coming to the plate.
They follow him everywhere. And here is Altuve, who's gone for the leadoff spot, sometimes second, now hitting third. He has not been hitting particularly well of late, but never really buy it because he hits the Rays. So swinging a 2-hopper to Walls at short to second for 1. Loud to first, double play. Altuve ends it on a 6-4-3, and the Astros are gone. Here are the first. Now to the bottom half. And the Rays are coming up against Colton Gordon after...
Introducing baseball's all-new...
1st, and TD Cynics donates $250 to Girls Incorporated, supporting and encouraging girls to be strong, smart, and bold through direct service and advocacy. Our pitching preview from Canes Furniture, quality selection value, that's the Conference of Canes, and local product, Colton Gordon making the second big league start against the team he grew up watching.
That is correct. And here is Yandy Diaz to start it against him. And he throws about 6 pitches. First one is down the middle for a called strike. And grew up a huge Rays fan. He and his family said he go to 20, 30 games a year at Tropicana Field. Now the left-hander throws. Diaz takes high and away. But while he is a St. Pete native, he really is also equally a Bradenton native. Hale Middle School, which is down off 64. There's a swing and a miss and a breaking ball down and in. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Lakewood Ranch High School. And then Hillsborough Community College and University of Florida, ended up at UCF. So he's been all around the area, but really as local a product as you're going to find on a big league mound. Here he pitches to Yandy Diaz. Lined into right for a base hit. Yandy Diaz singles to right to open the Rays' offense.
And since that is the first hit, we remind you every hit's a win with Suncoast for each Rays hit. Suncoast donates $79 in honor of their 79 Florida branches, with up to $10,000 going toward 2 local nonprofits each month.
That's a leadoff man aboard for the Rays. And here's a guy that had a really good road trip in Jose Caballero. I think for the first time looks to be pretty locked in at the plate and stealing bases and doing his thing defensively. Now the first pitch is high and in from Gordon, and it's 1-0. And he was back to being his typical pest. And that is driving the other teams nuts. Third baseman Paredes is shallow, but only maybe by a step or 2 at third. And an off-speed is low and inside from Gordon, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Jose is also the best Ray this year against lefties, and that's been an issue for the team. So they're hitting just .205 as a club against southpaws.
Yeah, that has been a real problem. On 2-0, taken, change-up strike. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, he's not a particularly hard thrower, but he can spin it and move all around the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. The stretch. Diaz leads at first. Gordon pitches. Backdoor breaking ball. Called strike 2. And it's 2-2. So impactful for Caballero and Chandler Simpson from the speed category that when you went from Saturday with them in the lineup to Sunday without either of them in there, the lineup played a lot differently. There's a swing and a miss and a slider in on the hands. And Caballero has struck out for 1 down. In fact, when the Rays didn't have their speed going, because those guys make things happen, it's like they had to start putting some over the wall or driving the ball, and they never did in yesterday's game. 5-1 loss for the Marlins. Here's Christopher Morel, who swings and misses. And Christopher has really gone from in the lineup most days to very rarely in the lineup. 209, 3 homers, 11 batted in. Diaz leads at first, and the pitch spun foul to the right side. Yeah, and if you're going to play just against lefties, and Meade is in that category most certainly, I got to think it's hard to get your timing. You just pop you back in the lineup and expect to have timing. It can take a little while sometimes, but that's what the job of the role player is. 0-2, and the pitch is a bullet foul behind Brady Williams, coaching third. Michael Johns over at first. 0-2, the count to Christopher Morel.
But I think it's especially difficult for young role players. Morel's, 25, and Meade, 24, and they're not getting a whole lot of playing time. And I would think that it's got to be difficult to try not to do too much when you're playing so infrequently.
The count is 0-2. A look towards first. Diaz is being held by Walker. There's an excellent defensive first baseman, but the pitch drops a little bit low. And 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Morel. And Caminero on deck. Rays did a better job on this road trip of scoring early in games and getting leads, but in the end, they split the 6-game trip. Here's Gordon ready and throwing. He popped him up. Shallow right field. Out goes Altuve with Cam Smith, a long run, but he gets there and he's under it to his right to make the catch. And there's the second out. So 2 out, runner at first, no score, leaves it for Junior Caminero.
It's a Houston team, Andy, that's used to playing from behind. In fact, they are tied for the American League lead in comeback wins this year. And they can do it because they have one of the best bullpens in the game. If you don't score against their starters early, you're really putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
Well, and between today and tomorrow's starters, you have a lot of inexperience on the mound for the Astros. Here is Junior Caminero. And the first pitch is a strike on one. He had one big moment on the trip, the grand slam. It was a huge moment, grand slam in the 9th inning to win a game. But he basically was nowhere to be found for the rest of the entire trip, in particular in Miami. And this one drops a little low to even it up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, just a 3 for 21 stretch on their road trip. He's been a different guy at home. He has all of his home runs, 7 of his 8 home runs here.
The one on the road, though, that was a big one. On 1-1, Gordon ready and fires, swinging a foul to the right side out of play. And it is 1-2. Overall, Junior 235, 8 homers. Like Neil said, 7 of them here. 20 runs batted in overall. No score, last to the first. Caminero uses his timeout. A lean in at the waist by Gordon. He works on the third base side of the rubber, and the rookie left-hander throws with Diaz running, swing and a miss. He struck him out. One breaking ball down and in. Same pitch that struck out Caballero, and the Rays are retired here in the first. 1 hit, 1 left through 1. Houston and the Rays are scoreless.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang.
Celebrating a win or enjoying a meal with family and friends, Colony Grill's famous thin crust pizza knocks it out of the park.
Christian Walker leads off against Ryan Pepio. The first pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Yeah, like Neil's been saying, that the Astros have been coming back in games, but they still aren't hitting great as a unit. Walker's in a 3 for 27. Altuve's in a 1 for 19. But some timely hits late have turned what looked to be losses into wins, and they're doing okay. Here's a ball 1 high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Walker.
The Astros are top 3 in the American League in hitting with runners in scoring position, so they take advantage of the limited opportunities.
They have a lot of guys with a lot of experience. The pitch blowing away. Although I got to say, it's weird to be facing them without Alex Bregman over there at third. Of course, we saw Bregman with the Red Sox. We'll be seeing him for far too long with the Red Sox moving forward, but I always associate him with Houston. The pitch is high and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. But they've got a pretty good third baseman right now in Isaac Paredes. And overall, when you look at the American League West, they're 2.5 out of first behind Seattle. Anything but a stable lead for them. So that could go, the pitch comes up and in and comes off to the right. on Walker, and that'll fill the count at 3-2.
That's the third batter out of 4 where Pepio has missed way inside, and it's led to a check swing foul ball. It's kind of strange.
Like
Houston's really hanging right over the plate.
They are. Well, you got to command it if you're a pitcher. If you let the hitter take that whole inner half of the plate, it's awfully hard to do much from the mound. Well, it really is. It's all about the location of Pepio, and it's just a couple inches here or there. He likes that elevated fastball at the top and sometimes above the top of the strike zone. He has what they call elite carry on his pitches. He comes on 3-2. Soft broken bat liner to Walls at short. Takes a weird hop. Backhands near the bag and throws to first to retire Walker.
Does he make it look easy? I mean, it's amazing how many difficult plays when you got the barrel of the bat flying toward you, ball with a lot of odd spin, and he gets a kind of a late tough hop, and he handles it so easily. He is far and away, right now, the best defender in baseball by defensive runs saved.
Well, to the eye test, he certainly is as well. That looked like, when you watch a pool player hit the side of the ball real hard and then it goes along the table and suddenly curves off in another direction. That's what that looked like. Here comes Yainer Diaz, the designated hitter, and a catcher by trade. He takes first pitch strike 0-1. And he's in a 3-for-22 spell. No balls and a strike. Pepio right back, swung on and lifted in the air to first, shallow right field. It'll be Brandon Lau to call off Curtis Mead and make the catch. 2-man retired.
Diaz had homered yesterday, and he's one of those guys, we've seen him over the years drive the ball the other way with the short porch and right. He's a guy you kind of got to bust in every now and then to keep him honest.
He is. He's a good RBI man. 2 out, no one on. No score, second inning. Now Victor Caratini batting left-handed. Pepio, first base out of the rubber, delivers to him. Launched way up into the air. Foul first base side. Mead to the dugout, leaning, and it's off the screen on its way down. Foul ball, and it's 0-1.
The fact that Caratini is hitting left-handed is notable because he's the only batter in the lineup who's hitting left-handed for the Astros. How about an all-right-handed lineup? Because they're still without the injured Yordan Alvarez, who's had issues in inflammation in both of his hands.
Noticeably absent from this lineup. And no more Kyle Tucker in the lineup either. It's a swing and a drive towards right center field. Hit well. Caballero ranging back, and this one's over his head and gone. Home run. I didn't even think he got it all. Looked a little off balance of the swing, but Victor Caratini sends one over right center field, and the Astros score first, lead 1-0.
Got a change-up, and the change-up, unfortunately for Ryan Pepio, was up a little bit, and this has been the big issue for the Rays this year. They're giving up, all their starters are giving up the home run ball. It's number 10 allowed by Pepio.
I mean, that looked like a one-handed swing to me.
It was, but it's not a deep shot to right center here.
All right, and here is Jake Myers, and it's a first pitch strike 0-1. All the things that have plagued the Rays in their replacement home ballpark, as Kevin Cash likes to call it. Same conditions for the visitors. But the visitors aren't having nearly as much trouble adjusting than the home team is. Check swing, and Alan Porter said he didn't go at first, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Jake Myers. They planned to pull to the infield. Coming arrow at third is over near the foul line, and the pitch swung on and missed. And it's 1-2.
Well, it's now 65-39 homers by the opposition versus the Rays. It's a -26.
In a basketball game, that's a blowout. Mm-hmm. That is the case, at least for now. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch, a check swing. He didn't go. And it's even up. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Pepio will throw some breaking pitches, but really fastball changeup, what works best for him. But he's got to locate him. And the pitch inside, full count 3-2. Fans are barking at home plate umpire Chris Siegel, but I think he's been right.
These are close, but they're balls.
3-2. We have 2 out, bases empty. Pepio from the line and pitches, and he's low ball 4. And the fans are all over, but I think Myers just had to be told that's a walk. Thought it was ball 4, and then he deked me out. Yep, these are balls. Pretty good frames by Jansen, but that's ball 4.
Especially the way that umpires are calling the strike zone. Anything, it used to be they were giving you like up to 2 inches off the plate on the edges, but this year they're grading on about a half inch off the plate.
I have no problem with those being called a ball. They seem like out of the zone. Here's Cam Smith, part of the future of these Astros, right-hand batter, and ball 1 taken high, 1-0. Started him off slider, one of the lesser used pitches for Pepio. He's got a cutter and curveball every so often. Throw to first, and back in there goes Jake Myers. Smith learning the big leagues at the big league level. Had a great spring training, earned his way onto the team, and now getting a little more time. 1 ball to no strikes. Myers is running. The pitch is a strike. Throw down to second. Not a great throw off to the right, and Myers steals it. And talk about another thing that plagues the Rays is that you can steal bases off this team quite often.
Yeah, with Pepio, that's now 7 of 9 successful when he's on the mound.
We saw it from the other end. You can steal on the Marlins, and the Rays went, 7 for 7 in steals over the weekend in Miami. And it's quite a gift. Swing is belted into the left field corner for another hit and another run. Around third, Myers, he is in, and Smith into second with an RBI double, and it's now 2-0 Houston.
Part of that's the stolen base. I don't know. That ball was hit so hard that I'm not quite sure that Myers scores if he's at first base on that ball. And that was the changeup, just what Caratini got. Smith got it too. Kind of stayed up in the strike zone right in the middle.
4th double, 13th run batted in for Cam Smith. That ball was hit significantly harder than the home run. The home run wasn't even hit at 98 miles an hour. This one was at 113, so that's a belt. And now it's a runner at second and another run in, and here is Chas McCormick. Right-hand batter, swings and misses, and it's 0-1. So the Rays in a small hole here early on. Pepio had a very fast first and got the first 2 outs quickly here in the second, but the Astros have put 2 on. Or 2 in, I should say. And this pitch just missed outside. Yeah, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And you got to credit the lower part of the Astros order. From 6 down, they've gotten all these runs in. Here's a swing and a looping fly ball, shallow center, and that's going to be another hit and another run. In to score comes Cam Smith on a little flare base hit by McCormick. 3-0 Houston.
It's a good job by McCormick, who doesn't play that often. In fact, that's his first hit in the month of May. He's had 5 at-bats this month. Now 6, and there's his first hit, and there goes Kyle Snyder, and the Rays find themselves, as they've been so often, in a lot of these home games, in an early hole. Their starting pitching has just not performed as they would have hoped. Their team starting pitching ERA is 20th out of 30 clubs right now.
And I would bet that those teams right around them or under are not contending teams.
Correct. Other than, I think, Arizona might be the only one that has struggled with the starting pitching. But their bullpen ERA has been so good that and their run scoring has kept them in games.
So 3 runs on. There were 2 out, nobody on, and now 3 are in. Back to the top of the order, red-hot Jeremy Pena. And first pitch is taken down low, ball 1. After a visit to the mound by Kyle Snyder. And the pitch count beginning to climb. It was just an 8-pitch first inning for Ryan Pepio.
And he had 2 outs on 8 pitches this inning.
And a throw to first, and they've got McCormick caught between first and second. Meade throws down to Lau, who tags him out on a caught stealing, going 1-3-4. Astros are done, but they do damage through 1.5. Houston 3, Rays nothing on the Rays Radio Network.
It's a great night for baseball.
Suddenly in a hole as they come to bat in the second, down 3-0 to youngster making his second big league start. He's got some cushion to work with.
He sure does. It'll be Brandon Lau against Colton Gordon. First time they're facing, and it's a strike, 0-1. Lau, Jansen, and Meade do up against the 26-year-old left-hander Gordon. And a pitch, slider, and that's low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. With AAA Sugar Land last year, was the all-star there, 8-2 record for the season. Here he puts a fastball outside portion for a strike, and it's 1-2 to Brandon Lau. Lau leading off the second inning with the Rays, like Neil said, all too familiar to be in a hole, in particular at home. Really, though, third time in the last 4 games that they have been. There's a swing and a drive foul to the left side out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First game in Miami, last game in Miami, and now tonight, Rays down by multiple runs.
And you look at the familiar patterns in those games, crooked numbers. A 3-run inning yesterday, a 3-run inning today, a couple of 4s on Friday.
Here he comes on 1-2, low and outside with a sweeper. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's tough to overcome when you give up that many in a frame, especially when the offense is struggling. It puts a lot more it leads to guys, I think, putting pressure on themselves.
Now on 2-2, Lau swings and sends one off the hands, played deep at first by Christian Walker, who has won 3 straight Gold Gloves. And he goes to the bag for the unassisted putout. Well, now nobody on. Here's Danny Jansen. Well, the other game that Colton Gordon pitched, 4 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs against Kansas City. 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a home run allowed. He allowed a first batter single to Yandy Diaz, but no base runners since. Here's Danny Jansen, and at the knees taken for a called strike. It's 0-1.
As good as their bullpen is, you almost turned it into a 5-inning game. Even if you hold the fort from here on, you got to get to Gordon before the 5th ends.
There's a swing and a drive hit to left. Back to his left is McCormick to make the catch. He didn't play a whole lot of left field, but he made the play, and there's 2 men retired.
Nice to see solid contact, though, from Danny. 104 off the bat, just not enough lift on it.
2 out, bases empty, and now Curtis Meade, who has not played in quite a while. The Rays had that segment of games where they faced a bunch of lefties, but then going away from that. So he pretty much plays exclusively against lefties. He's a right-hand batter and a first pitch curveball for a strike, 0-1. Now the delivery. Popped him up. Left side of the infield, should be a shutdown inning for Gordon. The shortstop, Jeremy Pena, waits for it and catches it. 3 up, 3 down to the end of 2. 3-0 Houston on the Rays Radio Network.
Whether you
Same here in the booth. Here is Neil Solondz.
Thanks, Andy. Jeremy Pena against Ryan Pepio. First pitch coming. Swinging a ground ball hit hard and past Junior Caminero in a left for a base hit off Ryan Pepio. Got a first pitch fastball that was down, and Pena, who's been hitting over 370 since moving to the leadoff spot, is aboard to start the third, leading off this inning for Houston. Boy, it's already 5 hits in a very short span against Ryan Pepio. And for he and the rest of the Rays, home is where the Rays play their games here this year, Steinbrenner Field, but it has not felt that way. As the breaking ball high and tight to Isaac Paredes, former Ray, 1-0. Rays are 11-17 in this ballpark, and they're one of only 2 teams in Major League Baseball with a sub-500 home record and a winning mark away from home. 1-0. Taken all the way, a strike, 1-1. The other team also playing in a temporary home. That's the Athletics. And it's not like you can redesign your club knowing, in this case, you're here for a year. And then go back to the way it was, as the pitch is inside, changeup, and it's 2-1.
Kevin Cash addressed it again, and he's going to have to as long as it keeps me in the thing. And his point is, look, it couldn't be a better facility under the circumstances. It's not our normal home, but everyone from the front office to even the Yankees and all that have done everything to make the Rays comfortable. It's just up to the players.
2-1. Line drive in a left center field. That's going to drop, base hit. Meisner plays it in. Pena to second base. And Ryan Pepio getting hit awful hard here in the last inning plus. I mean, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 straight hitters that have reached 5 hits and a walk. And a lot of them have been very hard, as Jose Altuve, a double play ground out his first time, stands in. You know, it's odd with Pepio. I mentioned that he's put up pretty good numbers lately. The 3 runs in 6 innings against the Jays as he deals. Swing and a miss. Slider, and it's 0-1. But he's been what you call a reverse split pitcher this year in terms of the teams, the hitters having success against him. He's been not good against righties, but really good against lefties as a pitch way high for a ball, and it's 1-1.
And so significantly different is how they're hitting his fastball. It's just about the location of it. When it's up, they don't hit it. When it's down a little bit, they do.
And maybe the changeup, too. It plays better against lefties than it does against righties. This is an almost all right-handed lineup. Next one, grounded toward third. High hop handled by Caminero, a foul ball. And it's 1-2. Handled on the backhand side, going into foul territory behind the coaching box. Tony Perez Chica is coaching third. Dave Clark at first for Houston. 1-2 on Altuve. This park has been a problem for the Rays, but so have the Astros, quite frankly, whether it's here or at Tropicana Field. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 2 on, none out in the third. The pitch. Swing and a miss. There's a good changeup from Pepio, maybe his best one. Altuve down on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Pepio and a very important first out in the third with the Rays down 3-0.
Whether you're crossing a state line or just going cross town, Club Citgo can save you money on every fill-up along the way. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go.
First baseman Christian Walker, first year with the Astros, waiting and taking high for a ball. He grounded to short his first time, and one of those could get the Rays out of this inning. Rays have dropped 16 of their last 24 against Houston, and they've had even more trouble in their home ballpark against the Astros. A peek at second, 1-0. Drive in the air towards center field. Back and toward the track, and under it is Cameron Meisner. He will make the catch, settling under it. For out number 2, going second to third is Pena. And back to first on the play goes Isaac Paredes. So men at the corners, 2 out. And that'll bring up Yainer Diaz, the designated hitter, and we'll see if Pepio, who allowed 3 2-out runs in the second, can put up a 0 here in the third and get Diaz. Looked like a very frustrated reaction by Walker there on that flyout. He thought he had a ball to drive and just got a little bit underneath it.
He hit that significantly harder than the one Caratini hit that went out. Just deeper part of the yard.
As the pitch is hit hard down to third, just foul off the bat of Diaz, 0-1. It was a changeup that stayed in, and it stayed up, and Diaz turned on it. He popped out his first time. The infield is very much to pull. The outfield is fairly straight away on Diaz, who, as Andy mentioned, catcher by trade. They love to have his bat in the lineup. Homered yesterday to start to work his way out of a slump. 5 of those, 22 driven in. 3-0 Rays trail, third inning. The pitch, way outside. Nice backhand by Jansen. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Rays have had as much trouble with Houston as any club at home, along with the Phillies over the last several years. And the Rays seeing those two teams in back-to-back homestands. 1-1 is looped foul off the netting. It's 1-2.
Well, even when the Astros were good and the Rays were mediocre around 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, Rays did beat them at home quite a bit at Tropicana Field, but things have turned.
Yeah, it's been the last handful of years, really after the 2020 World Series, that has changed. When the Rays beat them in the ALCS. 1-2. Runner goes, pitches high, throw to second, and out at second base is Paredes before a run scores. Paredes thought he got around the tag. Let's see if they want to review. If this play holds, no run will be charged. They say that Paredes was tagged out, and a caught stealing goes 2-4. So that ends the inning. In the frame, 2 hits, a runner left at third. 3-0 still Astros on the Rays Baseball Network.
Offense.
Taylor Walls will try and start it for the Rays, hitting right-handed, a switch hitter. And he takes outside from Colton Gordon, 1-0. This is just the second big league start for Gordon, who got his start playing T-ball in Fossil Park in St. Petersburg. 1-0. Breaking ball strike, and it's 1-1. And while this is just his second big league start, he's not foreign to this ballpark, Steinbrenner Field. 1-1 out of the windup. Ground ball hit toward the hole at short. Backhanded by Pena. Smooth fielding shortstop gets another as he gets Walls to start this third inning, and there's 1 gone on the Rays' third, down 3-0 to Houston.
That's an impressive play because Walls runs well to first, and such a quick release by Pena. A lot of times when it's a quick release, the throw doesn't have much on it. That had a lot on it, and a straight, direct throw to Christian Walker.
Former Gold Glove winner on a Houston team that's among the best defensively in baseball. Here's lefty on lefty, Cameron Meisner. Breaking ball strike, 0-1. Andy had mentioned that he's been around the state of Florida and throughout Tampa Bay. Well, he started his college career after Lakewood Ranch High School at the University of Florida in Gainesville as a strike taken by Meisner. Breaking ball, and it's 0-2. And he got redshirted and said, you know what? I'm going to get a better opportunity. I want to play. I want a better chance. 0-2. Ball looped foul to the left out of play. It's still 0-2. So he went to Hillsborough Community College, which is, of course, right down the street. And he played some of his college games for Hillsborough in this ballpark. Occasionally, they played on the big field. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Tried to check it on a breaking ball away, and he K's Meisner for his third strikeout first time through, and he's allowed just a Yandy Diaz single so far. 2 gone for Yandy, with the Rays down 3-0 in the third.
And it's like Gordon has found a rhythm, too. Working quickly and right on and off the edges of the strike zone. Looking very, very strong one time through.
Especially with his breaking ball and his fastball command. Stands tall, kicks, and now delivers. Breaking ball in there for a knee-high strike. This is Chris Siegel, and it's 0-1. Starting to get some on the edges, too. Yandy, base hit to right to start the Rays first. Takes a called strike inside corner, 0-2. Didn't look like he picked up the baseball. So Gordon went from Hillsborough Community College to UCF, and then the Astros drafted him when he was coming off Tommy John surgery. And it worked out for all as the 0-2 is down and in. It's 1-2. In fact, when he got drafted, great story by Chandler Rome in The Athletic, he was delivering pizza after he had finished his rehab to make a little extra cash on the side. 1-2. Fouled straight back. And it's 1-2. So if you're in West Palm Beach a few years back, you might have been getting your pizza delivered by a current Major League pitcher.
I hope you tipped him well.
He said he got a couple of good tips. In fact, one, he delivered 10 pizzas, got $100. Like, that's pretty cool.
That's really good.
1-2 on its way to Yandy, who's DHing today. Outside and low, and it's 2-2.
It's like you got paid in pizza coupons.
Can you imagine that? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yandy trying to start a 2-out rally for the Rays in the third. And he swings and pops it up. Off to the first base side. Walker is going to run out of room as it's a handful of rows back into the seats. 2-2 still on Yandy. Astros got all 3 of their runs with a 2-out rally in the second. Rays hoping the top of the order can get it going against Gordon in the third. Again, games get late early against Houston. They've got the second best bullpen ERA in the game. And it works both ways. They can shut you down when you have the lead and keep them close, but they can also shut you down when they're in front, too. Another 2-2 to Yandy Diaz. Ground ball over the mound toward the middle, handled by Pena. On the run, he throws to first, near the bag at second, and the Rays go 1-2-3 yet again. So 9 straight since the leadoff single by Yandy Diaz. 3 complete, 3-0 out.
Take a
Well, so far the Astros have been in control since a 3-run second inning. The pitch to Yainer Diaz is in there for a strike from Ryan Pepio, 0-1. Yainer popped out his first time. Ryan can't do anything about that second. He can just control what he can control right now and keep the Astros off the board going forward. As a breaking ball in there, inside corner, strike 2 called, 0-2. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, total of 6 hits allowed as he kicks and delivers. Way high for a ball, 1-2. This is the first of 3 against the Astros. Rangers are going to play all their games against Houston, all 7 in a 2-week stretch. 1-2 out of the full windup. Way outside, and it's 2-2.
It's even too close for you. You're going to even miss one.
I will.
It's too many games. Neil said, that's it. I can't take the Astros any more than 6 games.
6 games in 14 days is enough. Actually, Emily has her high school graduation at USF, not too far away, so I'll miss the first one in Houston as a 2-2 popped up. Fading out of play, first base side, and that'll find the seats. School is winding down for most here in Tampa Bay. In fact, I think Emily had to turn in her computer already.
The school provides the computer?
They did, yeah, from COVID. She had to bring back the school computer. I got an email. I got receipts. I actually got an email that says this is your receipt for the computer that was returned. So I know that we're.
So, like, do they fix it if it goes back? Like it's their property?
I guess so. I think it gets passed on to another student.
Even you've blown up a computer this year.
I'm tough on them. 2-2. Driving a line toward right, coming on Caballero. He makes the catch about waist high. Sharply struck by Diaz, but he is the first out here in the 4th.
You can claim your share of the Raise 50/50 charity raffle jackpot. Proceeds support youth programming in Tampa Bay so you can win big and support the community. Visit raise5050.com.
There's Victor Caratini, who got the scoring going, with just his 3rd homer and 5th RBI of the year. With a long ball hit toward right center his first time up. Started the 3-run rally. And the only lefty in the lineup pops one foul out of play left field side this time. It's 0-1. Andy mentioned he was off his front foot, but he hit it 385 feet.
A one-armed home run.
Pretty strong man to do that. The wind is blowing over toward right center a bit. Although sometimes the flags in left center are not quite true. 0-1. That's taken outside just a smidge, and it's 1-1. 3-0 our score. Houston in front. They came up with a pretty quick rally. It was the home run, a walk, a stolen base, a ribby double, a ribby single, and all of a sudden Houston had the lead with the bottom part of the lineup putting it together. 1-1. Upstairs and inside 2-1. And this is a Houston team that has not gotten a lot of production from its lineup. In fact, I was surprised to note after they came back in the 8th inning yesterday against Texas that in 17 of their 46 games, which is a pretty high percentage, 2-1, inside, 3-1, they were scoreless through the first 5 innings in those games. That's more than a third of your games. You haven't put up a single run going into the 6th. This makes their 13 comeback wins impressive. 3-1. Ground ball chopped towards second. In between hops, snared by Brandon Lau. Overhand flip gets Caratini. The catcher retired, and 2 gone here in the Houston 4th. So 2 gone, none on for Jake Myers, who walked on some close pitches that the crowd was upset with, but I think they were balls. And then Myers, to his credit, stole a base and continued that rally.
Thing is, too, like what you're saying, when the game, and they probably had a fair amount of scoreless games, or games where they were down by a little bit, once their bullpen takes over, the other team stops scoring, so they're constantly on your heels. That's how good their pen has been.
Puts pressure to score on their starters as a pitch taken for a strike by Jake Myers, 0-1. He's having kind of a breakthrough year. 0-1. Curveball up and in, 1-1. He's hitting better than .290 so far this season in regular playing time.
Well, he had 1 game for the ages against the White Sox. 7 runs batted in. He has 14 for the year. Half of them came in that 1 game.
And that was against the White Sox. Not a very good club. As a 1-1 is lined the other way. A base hit in right center field. And it's a 2-out single for Myers. Boy, Houston is really getting on the fastball and changeup combination of Pepio. At 7 hits allowed in 3 2/3.
That game we're talking about, May 3rd. In Chicago against the White Sox, he went 4 for 4, had a double, a triple, 2 homers, 7 runs batted in, 13 total bases, 4 extra base hits. Single shy of the cycle. Just an amazing, amazing game.
And he's a threat to run because he already has a stolen base today. Throw to first, and he's back in standing. Kind of stumbled a little bit at the bag with a quick tag from Meade. This is Cam Smith. He's one of the key pieces who came from the Cubs in the Kyle Tucker trade. Doubled in a run, and later scored a run in the second. The pitch. Belted deep but foul left field side. It's 0-1.
Wow. Even for a foul ball, that's impressive.
Well, he's got light tower power. He had just 32 games in the minor leagues. This is his 33rd major league game. Kid out of Florida State University, so he's got ties to this state too.
That was working against him to make the club, but he forced their hand. He was so good.
A lot of guys in spring training have that spring, and then they fade as the pitch. Up and away for a ball, and it's 1-1, but he is not. Christian Campbell is one who all of a sudden has hit the skids. I think he was in like a 4 for 50 something going into tonight.
They may now move him to first base with the drama continuing in Boston.
They're under 500 like the Rays. In fact, the division is 1-1. Runner goes, pitches up and in, and got the bat of Smith, and that's a break for the Rays because if that doesn't touch the bat, that's going to be a stolen base for Myers. It's 1-2. He had a flying start. Rays have allowed the second most steals to the Marlins this year. Red Sox, by the way, lead the Mets 3-1 on the Visit Tampa Bay out-of-town scoreboard. That game now in the bottom of the fourth. We're in the top of the fourth where the Rays are down 3-0 to Houston.
Mets lost 2 of 3 to the Yankees over the weekend.
Including the Sunday night affairs. The pitch is low. Change up, and it's 2-2. Ryan having a tough time getting swings and misses against his Houston lineup. Just 1 strikeout so far and just a handful of swings and misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pepio from the stretch, now ready, and delivers. Looped foul to the right. This will find the seats right near the camera well area, and it's still 2-2. Baltimore has not won since firing Brandon Hyde. They're visiting Milwaukee, scoreless in the first.
Maybe it wasn't the manager after all.
I don't think it was Brandon Hyde's fault. Throw to first, and that's the second disengagement. Back diving safely as Myers. Once the manager goes, the general manager has to kind of look out because you got a new owner in Baltimore too. They want to win now.
Orioles have not handled this well. The GM nor the owner have spoken publicly since the firing of the manager. How do you hide from that?
You got to own up to your decisions. I know in the statement Mike Elias said a lot of this is on me.
Statements are sterile. They have no personality to them.
2-2, runner goes. Pitch is hit high in the air to shallow right. Should be an easy play for Lau. Second baseman under it on the outfield grass. He makes the catch, and Pepio, to his credit, works around a 2-out hit here in the fourth. Scoreless frame, 3-0 Astros, though, after 3.5 on the Rays Baseball Network.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Network Tuesday, May 27th, when your Rays host the Minnesota Twins. Get your seats at RaysBaseball.com.
2-3-4 for the Rays in the fourth. Jose Caballero takes a breaking ball strike from rookie Colton Gordon, and the count 0-1. Colton's dad, Steve, among the family members here enjoying this one so far, as the next pitch is fouled straight back by Cabby, who struck out his first time, and it's 0-2. And boy, it seems like Gordon's 0-2 or 1-2 on every single hitter so far. Just 43 pitches, 44 now as he starts this fourth inning. He's 2 strikes on Caballero, who had been the Rays' hottest batter. The pitch, that's low for a ball, 1-2. Doesn't matter whether it's a rookie or a veteran. The Rays have had, simply put, a lot of problems with lefties.
Except Chris Sale. He ravaged.
1-2. Inside and low, almost hit the foot of Caballero. It's 2-2, which shows that baseball can make no sense. On any given day, anything can happen.
Maybe the best lefty of this generation, and the Rays beat him up here.
And a series win over the Braves. 2-2. That's a breaking ball called strike 3 outside corner, and Gordon is hitting his spots, and he's got yet another punch out and 1 out in the fourth inning. So that'll give him 4 for the game. A couple of them, the last 2 looking, and you can't do anything with this pitch. This is artistry right on the outside edge. 1 gone, none on for Christopher Morel. First one. Swing and a miss over the top of a fastball, 0-1, right on the outside edge once again. So, guy, if he's going to work the corners, the Rays are going to have to make an adjustment and find a way to go the other way. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Into shallow center field. Should be an easy play for Myers jogging in. He's beneath it, now backs up a step and makes the grab on the Rays with 2 quick outs. That's 11 straight since a leadoff single by Yandy Diaz to start the Rays' first inning.
This is reminiscent of Sean Newcomb and Noah Cameron and lefties without a whole lot of name recognition that are just stifling the Rays' offense.
The Rays, as a team, came into today hitting .205 against lefties. They had lost 6 of their last, 7 losses recently to lefties. As Junior Caminero rolls one foul toward third, 0-1, were shutouts. The only times they've been shut out is when a lefty starts on the other side. And they haven't seen a lefty in about 9-10 days. And, boy, they're having all kinds of trouble with this lefty starter. It's the pitch. Down and in. 1-1. So Colton Gordon making a homecoming, pitching basically in his backyard where he pitched in junior college. And he's just playing catch with Victor Caratini. 1-1 with 2 out. Ball driven, foul to the right, out of play. It's 1-2. Caminero struck out to end the first inning. And all through this stretch here where he's been in total control, I think the line drive by Danny Jansen's the only hard hit baseball, so it's not like the Rays are making a lot of great contact. The windup, here's the 1-2. Hit foul in the air off to the first base side. This will find the seats as well, and it's still 1-2 on Junior Caminero. And the Rays are going to see, they better figure this out soon because they face another lefty tomorrow. Astros are looking for them anywhere they can find. Brandon Walter, lefty coming up from AAA, scheduled to make the start tomorrow. And then you got one of the best starters in the league, Hunter Brown, in the day game Wednesday. He's a righty. 1-2. Inside 2-2 for what it's worth, but I think he's allowed like a total of 9 runs in 9 starts. So you got to bring your A game from your pitching staff and your A game from your offense to beat this Houston team right now. 2-2. Swinging a high pop fly off to the right field side. This will land into the seats once again, and Caminero staying alive. Junior with a club best 8 homers, but in quite the tough stretch since that grand slam he hit in Toronto. Again, a 2-2. Swing and a miss, chased above his shoulders for strike 3, and Colton Gordon is dominating the Rays on this Monday night here in Tampa. He gets his 6th strikeout, 12 in a row retired, 3-0.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast.
baseball getaway, visit TampaBay.com. 3-0 Houston still. We go to the fifth. Back in with the play-by-play, Andy Freed.
Thank you very much, Neil. And here is Chas McCormick, who drove on a run with a base hit that promptly got picked off to end the second. All Houston's runs coming in that second inning. He fouls the first pitch back. High heat, and that's the key for Ryan Pepiot. And at this point, all right, 3 runs. If he can hold them to 3 through 2 more innings, well, it's a rulebook quality start. No balls and a strike. McCormick swings and lines one to left, but right to Christopher Morel. Waiting for it, and he makes the catch for the out. And now back to the top of the order, the very talented Jeremy Pena, League Championship Series and World Series MVP in 2022. He is single to left, and he is grounded to short. He's an excellent defender, and he can steal bases. There's not a whole lot he can't do. And I'll tell you what, here's the first pitch called strike. Couldn't have been easy to come after Carlos Correa as your shortstop with the Astros, but he did, and I don't know that the Astros really did miss Carlos Correa all that much. They won a World Series after. The pitch fastball away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, they won one with him, too. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Pena. Pepiot shrug of the shoulders and throws. Swing, line into left, and he's 2 for 3. Or to right, I should say, and he's 2 for 3. A base hit right field for Jeremy Pena. He has a hit to left and now a hit to right.
So far, Ryan Pepiot has done a decent job of holding it together when you consider this. This is now, 17 batters faced, or 19 batters faced. He's allowed 8 hits and a walk. So that means more than half the hitters have reached base against him so far.
Couple of extra base hits, everything else singles, including 2 from this man coming up. Isaac Paredes, single to left and single to center, then he was caught stealing. And first pitch, called strike, it's 0-1. He has hit his patented long drive foul already to left. Thing is, Isaac became much more than just a power hitter with the Rays. In fact, he had a much better eye after his first season of 22. He got a lot better in 23, and last year was having his best year and earned the All-Star nod. And not long after, the Rays dealt him to the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing, line drive center field, but that'll hang in the air for Meisner for the second out. And 2-out man aboard. 3-0 Astros. Up steps Jose Altuve, and get ready for more boos.
It's not only the fact that the hits have been allowed by Ryan, that's the 8th ball hit 95 miles an hour or better. So Houston's getting really ace swings today.
Pretty good contact. Pretty hard contact. Here's Altuve. Can do a double play and struck out. The only strikeout tonight from Pepiot. And first pitch popped up. Left side of the infield. Into shallow left. Moving backwards is Taylor Walls. Now to his left. Follows it into his mitt. And the side is retired. Through 4 1/2. It's Astros 3. Rays nothing. And now let's go.
Every game night is a chance to go big with MLB Big Inning.
I'm a drop in the ocean, just a face in a crowd waiting to be seen. Big dreams set in motion. I wanna go where no one's ever been. I would climb the highest mountain. I would dive the deepest sea, just so I could make you feel what I feel. Aiming for the sky. Yeah, I really thought we'd make it. Got my head in the clouds, but I
pretty quickly.
I thought I did. I'm fairly confident. I'm not.
Astros have been around since the 60s. It's a long time. Brandon Lau leads off against Gordon, who starts just outside ball one.
I could be wrong, but I think all three are in this run where they've made the postseason, from the group that went to 8 straight postseasons.
Gotcha. So none in the earlier years?
I think. I could be wrong.
Now on 1-0, Lau checks a swing and takes a strike. Over the outside, a sinking fastball, and it's 1-1 strike. Oh, now I'm thinking. I'm thinking of their core players and thinking of some of their pitchers. There's a swing and a ground ball up the middle, and the Rays have their first hit since the first inning. A dozen in a row retired by Colton Gordon, and now left on left, Brandon Lau singles right over the bag at second.
Well, the two veteran players for the Rays are the guys who've gotten the hits, Yandy Diaz and now Brandon Lau, and both approaches were similar. Yandy shoots it the other way, Brandon goes up the middle, and I kind of think that if you're going to try and pull Colton Gordon, you're going to have a tough time against him.
Wants you to use your aggression against you. Also, and here's Danny Jansen, hit it hard into an out his first time. And the first pitch to him drops low, ball one. So you feel like it's the three players, Neil, that have been part of their run going back to, 2017 or 15 when they made postseason?
That's what I think.
1 no strikes. Taken outside, it's 2-0.
I thought that Carlos Correa won one with Houston, too. I thought he was one of the core players who was departed, but was part of that run.
2 no strikes. Jansen lifts one in the air to right. Down the line and towards the corner. This one back near the wall, and it's gone! A 2-run homer for Danny Jansen. It's a 1-run game, 3-2 Houston. Not much distance. They say the distance was 312. That's the shortest home run of the year by the Rays, and it counts just the same. It's now a 1-run Astros lead.
Like I said, shoot it the other way. You got a good chance. That's the first run, so Mosaic donates another $500 to Fighting Hunger in Tampa Bay. And with that, you also score free pizza from Colony Grill. Take your mobile ticket to any participating Colony Grill location for buy one pizza, get one of Colony Grill's signature hot oil pizzas for free. Restrictions apply. ColonyGrill.com/Rays for more.
And I think instantly, Neil, that calls into question the listed distance of the fence here. Because the distance is 314 to the right field pole. This one to the left of the pole and was ruled as going 312.
What was the clip from a movie? Lies, all lies.
Yeah. I've been saying it for years. The distance. Oh, and here's a line drive down the left field line by Meade, but it's fouled. And it's 1-2 or 1-1. I for years have thought that the distances at this ballpark and in particular the one in New York are shorter than what's listed. And I feel a little bit vindicated. Happy that it benefited the Rays.
Me too.
1 2 strikes to Meade, who popped to short. So 2 quick runs in the fifth, and there's a pop-up foul to the right side. It's 1-2. Little wry smile on the face of Danny Jansen as he got to his teammates in the dugout.
He'll take it.
But if the StatCast distance is a 312, do you believe that more, or what's on the fence? I think I believe StatCast.
I think I'm going with StatCast.
There's a breaking ball low and inside to Meade, and it is 2-2.
Well, now you're a little bloop home run from getting even in this game.
Hit at 312. Now the pitch swung on and missed, and Meade is retired. Colton Gordon, we found out, had no swings and misses on that sweeper in a game against Kansas City. He's got a bunch of them tonight.
At least 6. I looked it up in between innings going into the frame. It was like 5 out of 13. So they were swinging and missing on almost 40% of the swings on that pitch, which tells me everyone's trying to do too much against it.
Now Taylor Walls lines it out of play foul to the right side. All right, we haven't forgotten about trivia. If you want to join in, at Rays Radio, at Neil Solondz, at Andy B. Freed. The 3 rookies of the year in the history of the Houston Astros. Neil feels that Carlos Correa is 1. And for some reason, I'm just drawing a big fat 0 on this one. Walls takes inside. It's 1-1 strike. Why don't you let us know who your other ones are?
Okay, the ones that I thought it was Correa, Altuve, and Alvarez.
Okay.
I could be incorrect on those, but those are the 3 that came to mind.
Wall swings and grounds it softly to his counterpart, Jeremy Pena. Charges on a belt-high hop and throws to first for 2 down. And that'll leave it for Cameron Meisner.
And there's a rollover ground ball. That's exactly what Gordon wants you to do. He wants you to roll over to the pull side. And the Rays have to be content with shooting the ball middle of the field and the other way, especially with right field shows so short with all the right-hand batters. It almost plays into your power, or at least the power of the ballpark.
2 out, bases empty for Cameron Meisner. And he takes outside ball 1. I had a guess of Lance Berkman. That's a good guess. I don't know why. I just, we ought to go down the hall and ask Dwayne, because Dwayne was with the Astros for a long time in some of their earlier years.
Had some great players in their younger years, for sure.
Came so close to winning a pennant in 80. Meisner takes high and away, 2-1. Maybe the best league championship series of all time, Phillies and Astros, 1980. That the Phillies pulled out at the tail end. And another great LCS, the Mets and Astros in 86.
I was about to say, I put that on a par.
Now on 2-1, Meisner takes outside. And credit to Cameron. He chased that pitch his first time, would not follow him out of zone this time. And it's 3-1.
And you can turn the lineup over here to Yandy Diaz, if you can find your way aboard.
Now the pitch, taken for a strike. A thought comes to mind. We always talk about your bloop and a blast away. Danny Jansen just showed us sometimes the bloop and the blast are the same thing. I mean, a home run that was listed at 312. Meisner takes called strike 3. So he fans 7th K for Colton Gordon. Gives up 2, leaves with a lead at the end of 5, 3-2 Houston on the Rays Radio Network.
Life is so
Rays find themselves trailing Houston. I don't know if Ryan slipped. He just said he was okay, and he has waved off the attention. Michael Sandoval and Kevin Cash will watch another warm-up pitch, and Ryan says he's okay. The Webull trading and investing platform helps you stay ahead of the game. Step up to the plate, get started on your financial journey. Download the Webull app or visit Webull.com today. Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC and FINRA. Investing involves risk. More info, Webull.com/disclosure. So on his warm-up tosses, Ryan Pepio stumbled on the mound and tripped, and that's why he was being checked out. But he's okay now. And we go to the 6th inning. The Rays are still within a run at 3-2, trying to keep it that way.
Christian Walker will start it, and Pep stays in. And looks none the worse for wear. First pitch, though, is low and away, ball 1. an important time for a shutdown inning. For Ryan Pepio, the Rays have cut it from 3-0 to 3-2. The offense is alive. And a swing and a drive out of play foul to the right side by the very powerful Christian Walker. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. So you put a 0 on the board here, and then you probably end up having a battle of bullpens. Now the pitch. Swing soft looper, shallow left, dropping quickly. It is caught, though, by Christopher Morel. And he makes the catch for the first out.
We got to get to our trivia answer here in the 6th inning. Again, Rays find themselves down 3-2. The question was, name the 3 Astros Rookie of the Year winners. I was confident, but too confident, I guess. I got 2 out of 3. It was good if we're talking about Meatloaf, but not if we're talking about getting the trivia contest right.
You did better than me. You did a nice job, I thought. I didn't get any of the 3. And here's a swing and a foul back by Yainer Diaz, and it's on 1. So you want to go over it all?
Yeah, the ones that got right were Yordan Alvarez and Carlos Correa. They were both Rookies of the Year. But Jose Altuve was not a Rookie of the Year. We needed to go into the previous good era of Astros baseball.
In the 90s. Here's Pepio throwing. Punched foul straight back onto the screen. At 0-2.
And the answer was Jeff Bagwell. And I think that one of our listeners got that for us. It was Claire. She said Jeff Bagwell.
There goes her stuff. I wouldn't mess around with Claire. She knows her baseball trivia. 0-2. We got to Yainer Diaz. So thanks for all that entered in with us and let us know their thoughts and their guesses. Neil got 2/3 and Claire got the other third.
Think about this. 2 of those 3 Rookies of the Year were trades.
There's a swing and a miss, but it clangs far off the shin guard of Danny Jansen off to the left, and Yainer Diaz reaches base. Second strikeout for Pepio, and we'll see how they rule it.
The most awkward swing of the night gets a swing and a miss, a strikeout, but still the batter reaches. Should be a K and a wild pitch. I don't think there's much Danny Jansen could have done with this.
Oh, it's definitely in the dirt.
Hit the chest protector and then skidded to the left.
Well, Danny is really one of the best in the game at blocking pitches. So I'm sure he holds himself in irritation there, but it's a tough one. Here's Victor Caratini. And a first pitch strike, it's 0-1. And they do say, officially, wild pitch.
So Yordan Alvarez was acquired by trade from the Dodgers and Bagwell from the Red Sox, right?
That is correct.
And they both ended up being some of the best players that the Astros have had offensively.
Dodgers traded Alvarez 1-for-1 for a right-hand pitcher by the name of Josh Fields. That was a steal for Houston. Franchise player for them. He was hurt a lot, but he's been an incredible player. The pitch is bounced foul along first, and it is 0-2.
Yeah, it's not quite yet Lou Brock for Ernie Broglio, but it's
not that far either.
No.
As time goes by, it starts to look a little more like that. 0-2 the count to Victor Caratini. 3-2 Houston. We're in the 6th. Pepio works out of the set position. Diaz not a threat to run. And the pitch high and away. It is 1-2. And then the other one, like you're talking about, Correa was the number 1 overall pick in 2012 in an incredible draft. And the pitch low and inside. And it's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Astros got Lance McCullers in that draft, too. Lance has really had to battle the last few years to come back from Tommy John and assorted arm troubles. We will not see him in this series. Maybe we'll see him pitch in Houston since that's a 4-game set.
Another local lad. 2-2 the count to Caratini. Pepio throws, grounded to third at the shortstop spot. Caminero underhands to Walls 1, turn to first, double play. And the Rays turn their second one of the night, and really well done. Caminero to Walls to meet, 5-6-3, and Pepio's through 6.
Take a hack at guessing which base.
short home run, if you can call it a short home run, won by Danny Jansen, the shortest home run this year. Now within a run at 3-2, and Colton Gordon, a little surprising. He's going to go third time through the lineup against Yandy Diaz and Jose Caballero, and then Christopher Morel.
Well, if he's going to get a win tonight, he's going to have to earn at least one, if not more, outs here in the sixth inning. Yandy Diaz with a base hit and a ground to short, and then Caballero and Morel to follow. You know, Neil, for all the years I griped and I've moaned about the short distances at Yankee Stadium, and I'll continue to do that. But it is kind of nice to get a little payback and get a short one for the Rays. They count just the same.
Well, Yandy hits most of his home runs the other way. It'd be nice to see him get it up in the jet stream.
You bet. Has he hit all of his homers in home this year?
Yes.
All right, well, he leads off against Colton Gordon, and the first pitch of the inning is popped up out of play to the right side. On a curveball, it's 0-1. Well, Gordon did go his only other big league start. 4 1/3 on 85 pitches. There's a swing and a flare to right center. That gets down for the hit, and unable to cut it off is Cam Smith. That'll mean extra bases, and Diaz to second. It's a leadoff double.
Well, Yandy is one of the few guys for the Rays who's kept a solid approach, which is middle away against a left-hander like Gordon. The other guys have to kind of follow his lead, because now all of a sudden you got the tying run in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, this is where it's a little tough because we can't see the bullpen. One would think that the Astros would have someone going, especially as talented as their bullpen is.
That was middle fastball.
Yeah, they have Brian King warming up in their pen. And time called. I think Caballero called it. So no count here. Cabby is struck out swinging and looking. He's the go-ahead run. Ninth double of the year for Yandy Diaz.
Do you try and bunt on Isaac Paredes? I know he's in slightly on the grass, but he doesn't move all that well.
All right, Caballero waiting. And the first pitch, he takes strike over the outside 0-1. You know, in this situation, as well as Caballero is swinging the bat, maybe you do let him swing away.
Well, he struck out twice so far tonight.
He has. As you mentioned, though, he's one of the better Rays hitters against lefties. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. Lifted down the left field line. Towards the corner goes McCormick, and it's up against the wall. Diaz around third, and he will score. Caballero drives in the tying run. It's 3-3. The Rays have come all the way back.
Well, to be frank, I thought both of us were a little surprised that Gordon started the sixth inning, as good as the Astros bullpen is. And third time through the order, 2 batters in, you've got 2 well-struck doubles, one at 107, and that was 104 off the bat of Cabby.
And McCormick's a very good outfielder. He doesn't play left that often. If he can't get it, not many are gonna. A double, short hopping the wall by Caballero, and now the Rays have a fast runner at second with nobody out. The go-ahead run. And here's Christopher Morel, and a fake pickoff to second, no throw, and back to the bag, diving in is Caballero.
This is where you got to look also, if you're Morel, I know they want him to drive the baseball, but you also got to look the ball to hit the ball the other way and get that runner over at least.
Cam Smith is almost playing in the parking lot. He's so deep out there and right. Single will definitely score a run. And there is a true pickoff at second. Caballero safe. A tag by Altuve. It was almost holding him on.
So now you've used your 2 disengagements.
Which for Cabby, as you know, he's a daring base runner. But boy, if you're going to try to steal third here, you better make it. He is a very important run. You don't want to have to deal with the Astro pen. He starts and stops, and Morel takes high and away. Ball 1-0.
I like that Jose felt, it was almost like he shut it down. He started to go, didn't feel he had the jump, saw the pitch was up, said no, as Manny Rodriguez now warms in the Rays pen.
Morel is fly to right and fly to center. There goes Caballero to third. The pitch popped up. He better get back. Shallow right. Here comes Cam Smith, who was so deep, but now he gets to the spot and makes the catch. Caballero able to get back to second.
I like that you're going after the pitch. I like that you had a fastball to hit. I like that you're going the other way. Unfortunately, Just wasn't. You want to see him kind of punch that ball on the ground through that vacated right side. Wasn't able to do it.
Joe Espada is going to the mound, and he's going to remove Colton Gordon with Junior Caminero coming up. So Gordon will not be picking up his first big league win tonight. Brian King coming in for the bullpen to face Caminero, and then Brandon Lau. The Rays have come.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Apo Taco. Do you know what?
One of 7 inherited runners to score, so he's been good in coming in hot situations like this.
Caminero breaks his bat, rolls it to third. Into his left, Paredes looks Caballero back. Flips over to first, 2 men away. Down to bust the bat, and that's 2 out with a runner at second and leaves it for Brandon Lau.
You mentioned both sides hitters. With that ground out hit by Junior Caminero, righties are 6 for 52 against the lefty. I mean, that's not good. That's elite.
It's pretty amazing. All right, now Brandon Lau singled and scored on the Jansen homer. And he swings and fouls it back to 0-1. And he began with a double by Yandy Diaz and then a game-tying double by Caballero, but neither Morel nor Caminero have been able to advance Caballero, even though he tried to steal third at one point. It's a lefty-on-lefty situation for Brandon Lau. A look back to second. Here it comes outside. And 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm amazed how deep Cam Smith is playing for the lefty Brandon Lau, because if a little flare falls in front, Cabby's going to score the go-ahead run pretty easily.
1 ball, 1 strike. Caballero floating around there at second. And the pitch taken, called strike 2. 1 ball to 2 strike. As they say, sometimes the hitters tell you, his fastball's only coming up in the low 90s, but the hitter's reaction is telling you that either they're not seeing it, there's some deception in there, or a lot of carry on it because they're reacting late. And the pitch, off the hand, swung on and fouled to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
Well, the fact that the Rays have scored does get Ryan Pepio off the hook, but they need a base hit to put him on the right side of the ledger.
1-2 is the count to Brandon Lau. 3-3 tie, 6th inning. Rays have come back. They were down 3-0 for most of the game. Here it comes to Lau. Little squid foul to the left side on the sweeping slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Rays trying to give the Astros a taste of their own medicine. They lead the American League with 13 comeback wins, and the Rays are trying to come up with a comeback win of their own today.
There you go. 1-2. Lau takes in the dirt with a slider, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. From McNeese State University, Brian King, but born and lives in Colorado. 28 years of age, and he has been quite the find, originally in the Cubs system. Caballero breaks towards third, then stops with the pitch popped up. Shallow left field, Chas McCormick ranging in and now waiting beneath it, and now he's got it. So the Rays do tie it, but they can't go ahead. But we start anew at the end of 6. Rays and Astros tied at 3 on the Rays Radio Network. Restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. This game's going to be decided by both bullpens. Here's Manny Rodriguez coming on to work in the 7th against Myers, Smith, and McCormick. Each team 3 runs to the 7th. Now, here is Neil Solondz.
All right, thanks, Andy. Manny has not pitched in several days. His first offering, way outside and low at 98 for a ball. Didn't work in the Marlins series at all. In fact, he was the only Rays reliever not to pitch in that set. As he comes on for Ryan Pepio, 1-0. Popped him up into right field. This has a chance. Back is Caballero to the wall. Runs out of room. An opposite field homer for the number 7 batter, Jake Myers. And just like that, the Astros have the lead back. It's 4-3. Well, the short porch got the Rays a homer. Now it's given Houston one as well. And Myers a perfect night.
You know, and as you said it perfectly. Off the bat, popped up. And then next sentence, it's got a chance. And that's exactly correct.
He got jammed. It said it went 338 feet. Again, also not a home run in many parks, but this one. And that's to the alley, 338. But it's a homer as Cam Smith takes outside a ball, 1-0. And before I could even say it's a challenge in a tie game against the Astros because they have the second best bullpen in baseball right now. Manny Rodriguez giving up the home run as a ground ball squibbed the other way. He'll sneak into right field off the bat of Smith, and there's another base hit. Astros have now out-hit the Rays 10-5. They've got a 4-3 lead and a man on here in the 7th inning. And this should, on paper, be a really good lineup for Manny Rodriguez to face. Righty on righty, but give the Astros credit. Their right-handers are going the other way against them. They're not trying to get pull happy up there. Bottom part of the lineup is doing what they need to do. Smith one steal, held at first by Meade. The pitch, a bunt foul by Chas McCormick to the screen, 0-1. Well, the Rays have come down from 3-0 to tie it up, only to see the Astros immediately score 2 pitches later to take the advantage. And now they need to keep this game right where it is to have a chance to come back. Ryan Pepio, a no decision, 8 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts in 6 innings. Worked around a 3-run second and kept the Rays in the game. As a swing at a high fly ball to deep left field, Morel back to the wall. Against the wall, he leaps and catches it. And now fires back toward first. But going back in, standing up, without a relay throw, is Cam Smith. Boy, for the time being, Christopher Morel just kept the Rays in the game. I don't know if he saved a homer or a double, but either way, that was some kind of play by Morel at the wall. He saved a home run.
I think he did too. We just saw the replay in the booth. I think he brought one back. Yep, his glove was up and over the wall. That would have been a home run.
So, for the time being, it's still a 4-3 ball game thanks to Christopher Morel. Manny Rodriguez had allowed just 1 home run this year. He almost gave up 2 in a 3-batter span, as Jeremy Pena takes outside for a ball.
McCormick hadn't hit one either, nor have an RBI for that.
Not a single RBI this year, and almost got 2 right there. And he hadn't had a hit in the month of May before today. Almost got his second. 1-0 with 1 on and 1 home. Ground ball the other way into right field, base hit. Up the second goes Smith. Caballero plays it in. And now there's 2 on and 1 out. And look what every single right-handed batter, other than McCormick, is doing this inning. They're all just shooting the ball to right field on those sinkers. And here comes Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, to have a word as Isaac Paredes. He's not going to try and shoot the ball the other way. We know that as he comes to the plate.
You know, I can picture, he can slice it the other way sometimes. And when the Rays got Isaac Paredes, that's the kind of hitter that they thought he was going to be. A guy that can slice the ball to right center, hit it up the alley in left center, but he ended up being a dead pull power hitter. But I can picture times when he's hit it to the opposite field, but as you and I both know, it's not what he's trying to do in this spot.
3 hits in the inning, nearly a 2-run homer as well. So Manny Rodriguez, who hadn't pitched much lately, giving up some pretty big hits in this frame. He had allowed only 15 and 20-plus innings this year, too. I think that Kevin Cash pushed the right button, but sometimes what buttons you push and whether they're right or wrong is, as you know, dependent on how the player plays on that given day. Here's Isaac. He's been the best hitter for Houston with runners in scoring position, and he rarely grounds into a double play because he hits the ball in the air, the pitch. That's taken in there for a strike, 0-1. 2 on, 1 out, and 1 home in the 7th, 4-3 Houston. Isaac is single to left, single to center, and line to center. Open stance, waiting, 0-1. In the dirt, slider, and it's 1-1. Both Rodriguez and Paredes were traded from the Cubs at one point to the Rays, or were at one point with the Cubs. Isaac then eventually got traded back to the Cubs. Rodriguez came to the Rays from Chicago. 1-1. Taken low, and it's 2-1.
In this sort of spot, I always felt when Isaac was with the Rays, he'd give you a good at-bat.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what the result's going to be, of course, but yeah, he will give you a very good, solid, big league at-bat.
His on-base plus slugging over 1,000 in these spots this year. 2-1. Popped him up. First base side, playable. Meade down the coaching lines, under it. Makes the catch, 2 down. That's a big, big out for Manny Rodriguez. And as Jose Altuve comes to the plate, he could limit the damage to a single run here. One huge out to get. Altuve, 35 years of age, 9-time All-Star. He's 0 for 3 tonight. A strikeout, a pop out, a double play ground out. First pitch right on right to the second baseman. Drive in the air toward deep left field. Morel back toward the corner on the run. Under it, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Almost another long ball against Rodriguez, but Morel reeled it in the middle of the track, and the Astros settle for 1. 4-3, they lead it at...
Bosch makes smooth cuts with a Bosch miter saw. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. We go to the home seventh. It is 4-3 Houston.
Well, maybe the Rays can find a way to Bosch Brian King here. They could use one of those short home runs that Danny Jansen got his last time up to make this a game. Rays have been out-homered 2-1 and trail 4-3. There's a pitch upstairs and outside to Danny, and it's 1-0. 3 homers now, 10 batted in. And he's reached base in, 21 out of 22 games. And he started a rally here with the Rays chasing a run. King pitches. It's a little high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Just missed the top of the zone, I guess. You have no margin against this Houston ball club when they use the back end of their bullpen. Their big 3 have been an incredible 3, 2-0. Check swing, went too far, and a fastball upstairs. Right at the top of the zone, it's 2-1. King comes into today with an ERA of 1.40. Eric Orsi warming in the Rays pen. 2-1 to Jansen. That's taken, little high, and it's 3-1. Brian Abreu, who usually pitches the 8th inning, has a 135. He's warming up now. And Josh Hader, who closes, has a 180. Next pitch is swung on and missed, a fastball, and it's 3-2. How many teams can say their 3 back-inning guys all have sub-2 ERAs, 2 of them under 1.5 at this late stage of the latter part of May? It's not a lot of season to be that good. 2-2 to the Rays leadoff batter in the 7th, down 4-3, or 3-2 rather. High, ball 4, and there's a leadoff walk. Danny Jansen on base again. And the Rays get the tying run aboard, and they'll get the lead run at the plate, and Chandler Simpson will come out of the dugout and pinch run now.
Good to see Chandler still has his face. When the way he face planted into the dirt in Miami, it really bloodied him up right good. But what ended up being of more consternation was his hand, which was more sore the next day than it was the first, but he's all right. In fact, I have it on good authority he will probably be in the lineup tomorrow, so we'll see. But you got to have him in here just trying to swipe a bag, I would think.
Well, King has not had a stolen base attempt against him. He's had so few base runners.
Right.
Pitch to Curtis Mead. Fouled straight back. It's 0-1. And Curtis at the plate, hoping to get himself on track against a lefty, hitting just $164 with no home runs and 3 batted in. Pop out a strikeout today. Simpson edges away the pitch. Outside 1-1. Didn't look like Curtis had much of a lead there. King has a very short stride and really makes it tough to pick up the baseball, too, as he delivers it to the plate. His fastball at only 92 gets on a hitter quite quickly. 1-1 as they set up in. Swinging a ground ball behind third and foul past Brady Williams down the coaching lines. And Meade down in the count 1-2. Curtis had that incredible spring training, and with not a lot of regular playing time, has just struggled to find his way on the offensive end. First start in 10 days for Curtis. Man on, not out, 7th inning. He's the go-ahead run. 4-3 Rays trail. Simpson, the pinch runner, leads away. Throw to first, and Chandler dives back in safely. Not only is he 9 of 11 for a team that's second in the majors in steals, but the 2 where he's been caught stealing were originally steals that got overturned on replay as a line drive and a left-to-base hit. Simpson takes the turn at second, will hold, and Meade has a single through the left side, and the Rays have 2 aboard with nobody out in this 7th inning, down 4-3. Here comes Taylor Walls, and you got to think that Walls would be thinking about sacrificing here. The Rays do not have a successful sacrifice bunt this season, though.
The thing, too, though, is that you'd be bunting for Meisner in a lefty-lefty situation when Walls has at least traditionally been a better hitter from this right side. But he certainly could, and the Astros are thinking about it, bringing the corners in.
Paredes at third and Walker at first. The middle infield of Pena and Altuve seek 2. Walls has grounded to short twice today against the lefty starter, Gordon. They're charging at a swing and a miss at a fastball upstairs. It's 0-1. And that's a pitch that Taylor, whether he's hitting right-handed or left-handed, has a lot of trouble getting on top of. That fastball up and away, right on the outside corner. 1 strike on Walls, hitting just 195. Here's the pitch. Taken inside corner strike, and he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. 2 on, none out, 2 strikes the count. Remember, the Rays tied the score last inning. Had man at second, none out, didn't take the lead. 0-2. Check swing foul to the screen as he tried to get out of the way of the fastball high and tight. It's still 0-2. And then now they've got down a run, first and second, none out. Can they move the runners? This is where, if you're going to beat teams like Houston, a club that's been in the playoffs 8 seasons in a row, you got to do the little things well. You got to get them over, get them in. Again, an 0-2 to Walls. Swing and a miss. He chases a breaking ball off the plate. He's down on strikes. And that's the first out here in the inning for the Rays. And Jonathan Aranda is going to pinch hit for Cameron Meisner. Rays looking for contact and a chance with a short approach to at least get this game even. Meisner has been in a tough slump. He had struck out twice tonight. Tough at bat for Walls. It's not normal you see a lefty pinch hit for a lefty, but I don't know that the Rays have any better options. I think that's the best option the Rays have in Jonathan. And looks like the Astros will send out their pitching coach here. That's Joshua Miller to discuss how they want to attack Aranda. Now, he's had trouble lately with the high fastball, too.
Well, it's been a weird little stretch because those first couple of games in Toronto, he was in typical Aranda fashion. He had really brought things back, and yet in the last game in Toronto and all 3 games in Miami, he was chasing pitches. They went cutters up yesterday. They went fastballs up against him the day before.
Well, let's see what King does with Simpson at second and Meade at first. Aranda is 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter this year. He also has a sac fly. Rays down 4-3. The outfield swung toward left. The infield to pull. 6 homers, 21 ribbies for Aranda. Here's the pitch. That's outside. A fastball misses. Ball 1.
It's almost like what we were saying with Paredes. Always gives you a good at-bat in this spot. So does Aranda. You know he's going to give you a quality at-bat. Whether he gets the hit or not, who knows? But he'll bat it.
1-0, lefty on lefty. Take in, top of the zone strike in the outside corner, 1-1. Again, King really hides the ball well. 92 comes at you. Looking a lot firmer than that because he has a lot of good extension, which means he gets closer to the plate than most. 1-1. That's taken outside corner, strike 2 call. That just kisses the outside corner, if that, and it's 1-2. It's a tough call for Aranda. Now he's got to protect. Ooh, that might have been off. Certainly is a big swing pitch, whether you're down 1-2 or up 2-1. Rays had 2 on, none out. Now 2 on and 1 out, down 4-3, 7th inning. Yandy Diaz on deck, Brian Abreu warming in the pen. Here comes a 1-2, Simpson dancing off second. Swing and a miss. He got him with a fastball. And the pinch hitter, Aranda, down on strikes, and now it's up to Yandy Diaz. And I think it's going to be against Brian Abreu. Yep. Here comes Joe Espada. We've got a call to the bullpen from Weeble. 4-3, Rays trail 7th inning. Back after this with Abreu on the Rays Baseball Network.
Cameron Meisner.
Close your mind, you think of with Yandy. Base hit to right center field. Well, this might be the time to try for that. Yandy already has 2 hits today. They have both come to the opposite field. The Rays down 1. A single to any part of the outfield will score the tying run.
Really tough pitcher to get it against in Abreu. Here's the first pitch. Outside and high, 1-0. Brian Abreu gets as much swing and miss as any relief pitcher in the game. He had more than 100 strikeouts last year, and he's already got 26 this season in 20 innings. 1-0 to Yandy. Runners go. Pitch is a called strike, and it's 1-1, and no throw. So Simpson is at third. Meade is at second. The Rays execute a double steal. And if Yandy gets a base hit, the Rays will move in front. They're down 4-3.
As deep as the outfield is, a single away.
1-1 to Yandy. Swinging a ground ball, broken bat right to second. Altuve's got it. He sets, he throws, and the Rays do not score. They get first and second, nobody out, and can't get the runs home. And they trail 4-3 after 7 on the Rays Baseball Network.
Zips Cleaners in South Tampa is Tampa's.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Every game night is a chance to go big with MLB Big Inning. Turn on baseball's only nightly show that brings you the biggest plays of the night, live and commercial-free.
Strikes him out.
No one stacks more clutch plays into one live show with up to 4 games on a single screen.
Out of here! He is on fire. It's a walk-off win.
Change up game night with baseball's biggest game changer, MLB Big Inning, presented by Ram Trucks. Every night, all season long on MLB.tv.
A deposit, and we will on the Rays will donate a portion of the total funds deposited this season to support hurricane recovery efforts here in Tampa Bay. Visit Webull.com/Tampa Bay Rays to learn more. And speaking of Webull, they sponsor our pitching changes, and there is a new pitcher on the mound. That is Eric Orsi. Ben Rortvedt stays in the game, batting 9th as catcher, and Chandler Simpson goes to center field. He'll remain in the game. 8th inning, 4-3 Houston.
So that means that Rortvedt is now in the number 9 spot in the order. And Simpson in the number 6 spot after pinch running. Rays using the bulk of their bench that inning as Eric Orsi fires. And a pop-up foul out of play first base side off the bat of Christian Walker, 0-1. Rays down 4-3 to Houston. They've had a tough time winning at home. They've had a tough time winning against the Astros. And there have been a lot of games just like this where Houston has come up with big runs late as the pitch to Walker. That's high, and it's 1-1. Orsi, third pitcher for the Rays. Manny Rodriguez right now on the hook after allowing a run on a solo homer by Jake Myers in the 7th inning, first batter of the inning for the lead. Next pitch is a changeup up and in. Walker ducks out of the way. It's 2-1. Walker 2 flyouts and a ground out tonight. He's the right-hand hitting first baseman in a lineup loaded with righties. Orsi is a heavy changeup pitcher, which generally would play more against lefties. 2-1. Up and in with a fastball, 3-1, but down in the game. The Rays are going to not use their leverage guys trailing. Had the Rays tied the score or moved in front, they'd be using a different reliever. That's why those get them over, get them in situations are so critical. 3-1. Hit off the fist toward left, right at Morrell. Couple steps back, he's under it, makes the catch. Kind of a hollow sound off the bat of Walker, and there's one gone here in the 8th inning. One out, base is empty for the DH Yainer Diaz. Astros 3 in the 2nd. Rays came up with 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and then the home run by Myers. The difference. He's played a big part in this game. Diaz 0 for 3, pop out, line out, strikeout. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip and held on to by catcher Ben Rortvedt. It's 0-1. To win this opening game of 3, the Rays are going to have to come back against the combination likely of Bryan Abreu and Josh Hader. 0-1. Hit high in the air toward right field. This one is fairly shallow. Caballero in under it to make the grab, and Diaz now 0 for 4. 2 gone in the 8th inning. On the Visit Tampa Bay out-of-town scoreboard, Baltimore 15-30 entering play today. Winless since Brandon Hyde was fired, down 4-1 at Milwaukee, bottom 6. Boston, a 3-1 lead at home over the Mets, now in the bottom of the 8th at Fenway. Here's Victor Caratini, who homered to start the scoring, and he swings and loops it to the left out of play, 0-1. Flyouts to left and to right to start this 8th inning for Eric Orsi, trying to keep the Rays in the game, down 4-3. Rays will have Caballero, Morrell, and Caminero against Bryan Abreu in the 8th, and if the man gets on, Brandon Lau. The challenge against this Astros back of the bullpen, we told you how good they are, but they also don't give up home run balls, too, which is saying something because they have a pretty good home run yard. Is a pitch drilled but foul right field side, and it's 0-2. The Astros have only allowed, it sounds like it's a misprint, but they've allowed very few home runs from the back end of the bullpen. Abreu has not allowed a home run, and Hader has given up just 2.
But they haven't played in a place where you can hit one as cheaply as this.
0-2. Swing and a miss and a changeup. And down on strikes goes Caratini. So we'll see if that plays going to the bottom of the 8th. Rays down 4-3. This is the Rays Baseball Network.
One day you're serving in the military.
On the Tampa Bay Rays Radio Network. Adil Solans, I'm Andy Freed. Chris Adams-Wall out of the postgame show in a little bit. Chris Miller, Becca Carney with us in the booth. Jason Barringer back in the network studios. Caballero is going to lead off, Neil, and then we'll see a pinch hitter.
Yeah, Josh Lowe, the last man on the Rays bench, will come in for Christopher Morel. Here's Cabby. Double at an RBI his last time. Takes outside, righty on righty, 1-0. Well, the Rays are, a bloop and a blast from going in front. Can they do it against Abreu, who's not allowed a homer this year? 1-0. Take it in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. He also has a short porch at his home ballpark in left with the Crawford boxes, but as tough as his slider is, he is tough to square up. Yandy Diaz left 2 aboard in the 7th inning, and Abreu finishing that frame for Brian King. 1-1. Check swing. Did he go? Or no appeal granted, and it's 2-1.
Walk is as good as a hit here. Any way to get on base for the Rays stolen base leader.
And we saw the Rays can run on Abreu last inning. 2-1. Driven foul to the right out of play. That was right in the plate. A fastball, and it's 2-2. 97 from Abreu. And again, he's got as much swing and miss stuff as anybody in the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Caballero is hitting 7 games in a row with his double. Can he reach now in the 8th? 2-2. Swinging a chopper back to the mound and snared by Abreu. A flip to first, get Caballero and the all-important leadoff batter gone in the 8th with the Rays chasing a run.
We hope you'll catch a game here at Steinbrenner Field this season. View the full schedule and purchase your tickets at RaysBaseball.com. The 2025 regular season is presented by Orlando Health.
Josh Lowe to pinch hit for Christopher Morel. First time this year that Josh is going to come off the bench to hit. And out to the mound is Victor Caratini to explain how they want to challenge Josh. He homered in Toronto. He's reached in every game he's played this year, and the Rays just need him to get aboard. You talk about a guy who can steal. It's not only Caballero. Josh Lowe can run as well, as Mason Montgomery and Pete Fairbanks warming in the Rays pen. Montgomery if the Rays still trail. Fairbanks if this game is even.
Josh Lowe appearing here for just the second time this year. First time since opening day.
When he had a hit and then the oblique injury. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball got by him at 98. It's 0-1. Abreu can ride the top of the zone with the fastball, and there he got it near the bottom. 1 strike pitch to Josh Lowe. Up and away, it's 1-1, 99. High-octane bullpen for Houston with a lot of swing and miss. One of the best bullpens so far this year in baseball. With a 4-3 lead in the 8th. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball again at 97. It's 1-2, and that's right in the middle of the plate. And Abreu just challenging Josh Lowe. Pitch has tremendous carry on it. 1-2 coming. Up and away, it's 2-2. 9 strikeouts for Astros pitching. They've only allowed a single free pass. 2-2. Swinging a line drive. Caught on the backhand by a diving Pena, and there's 2 gone here in the 8th. Good approach by Josh Lowe. He stayed with it and hit it the other way. Went right where it was pitched, but unfortunately Pena's as good as they come in terms of defending. Rays are down to their final 4 outs.
When you watch Pena and Walls on the same field, they seem like they're on par. I mean, both such good defensive shortstops.
There are a lot of them in the game right now. Yeah. Trevor Story with Boston comes to mind as the pitch to Junior Caminero. Breaking ball had him bailing out. It's in there for a strike, 0-1. Junior 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. He now is in a 3 for 24 stretch. 0-1. Swing and a roller foul toward third. He's down in the count 0-2, and it's just been sliders. Abreu not throwing the fastball early in the count against Caminero, who leads Tampa Bay with 8 home runs. Smith about as far back as he can go in right field. McCormick pretty much the same in left. And Myers deep in center. 2 strikes, 2 out in the 8th. 4-3 Rays trail. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball toward the hole. It's going to sneak into left field. Base hit, Junior Caminero. And the Rays will get another one of their sluggers and their top RBI guy coming up. And Brandon Lau as the go-ahead run in the 8th inning. Is it against Abreu or Josh Hader, who's warming up in the bullpen?
He was stretching. I don't think he's actually loose yet. They got a shot of him on the monitor, Neil, and he was just doing his calisthenics, to get loose, but not on the mound yet.
So it's Brandon Lau against Abreu. 7 homers, 24 ribbies. The go-ahead run. The pitch. Swinging a ball, fought off foul. 0-1. Brandon's had some good at-bats. 1 for 3 with a single up the middle. Hit 2 home runs in Toronto and just missed one in Miami. Can he find that short porch in right? Caminero off first. He goes. Pitch is swung on and missed, and no throw to second by Caratini. And a stolen base for Junior Caminero. The Rays have 3 against Abreu. For Junior, it's just his 3rd of the year. And the Rays have the tying run in scoring position with 2 out.
I couldn't have told you either one of the other 2.
Rays now lead the majors in steals with 4 more tonight, but they need a hit to get a run home and tie this up. 2-strike pitch with 2 out. Here it comes from Abreu to Brandon Lau. On its way. Bounced in. A nice stop by Caratini. It's 1-2. Saved an extra 90 feet there. Although, to be frank, as deep as the outfield is playing, Andy, I don't think it matters. Any base hit should tie the game. They're deep all the way around. 4-3 Rays are down in the 8th inning. 1-2. Swinging a rollover grounder to first. Handled by Walker, back of the bag. He'll take it there himself. Get Lau, and the Rays again cannot come up with that big hit against the really tough Houston bullpen. To the 9th, 4-3 Astros on the Rays Baseball Network.
Spring is finally here. Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent in the game. A lot of power, a lot of marquee names.
Here we go. Buckle up, folks. There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight. The bats have come alive. A showstopper. We're just playing Powerball.
This place doesn't know what hit them.
These teams are entertaining, are they not?
The show continues.
Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted, and the accounts and descriptions may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays. Our latest call to the bullpen from Webull, the official online brokerage of the Rays. Get started on your investment journey. Download the Webull app or visit Webull.com today. Mason Montgomery for Eric Orsi. Rays down 4-3 to Houston as we go to the 9th. Jake Myers, who's the hero for Houston, steps in, and stepping in for us for the 9th, and hopefully a comeback win, Andy Freed.
Neil, thank you very much. We're going to see high-octane lefties on both sides here, top and bottom of the 9th. And a swing and a line drive caught off the bat of Myers to Curtis Mead at first. And the leap up in the air, a little hang time, and makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. We'll see Mr. Hader for the bottom of the 9th. No question if it stays a save situation. Simpson, Mead, Walls, Rortvedt 4th in the inning, Diaz 5th, if they can get that far against Hader, who has yet to blow a save this year. 11 for 11. The pitch to Cam Smith is fouled straight back at its 0-1. Smith has doubled in a run and scored 1, popped to second, and singled to right. No balls, 1 strike. Montgomery rocks to a stop and now throws. High and away, and it's 1-1. His slider 89 to 91, the fastball up 99 and over. I think he's hit, 102 this year with his fastball. Here he throws on 1-1, pitch very high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Stuff is there to become an elite reliever, I think.
You bet.
Just a matter of time.
Time and experience. 2 balls, 1 strike. Remember, he's still very new to relieving. The pitch has popped up foul. This time a year ago, he was still a starter with the Durham Bulls. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look out to Cam Smith. And you really got to hand it to the Astros. It's been their 6 through 9 hitters in the order, bottom part of their order, to provide almost all the damage tonight. Here's a slider low, and it runs full, 3-2.
I think their approach has been fabulous in terms of being willing to go the other way and take what they've been given tonight.
Caratini, Myers, Smith, and McCormick all providing all the RBIs and all the runs scored. The payoff pitch lifted in the air towards right, shallow though, charging in. And making the catch is Josh Lowe and 2 men down. So 2 out, nobody on, and here's Chas McCormick. McCormick almost, he did put one over the left field wall last time, but Christopher Morel jumped up and pulled it back. First pitch is taken for a strike of the knees, and it's 0-1.
I didn't mention that Caballero went from right to left field with Josh Lowe going in the game in right after a low pinch hit for Morel.
So Simpson's in center and Caballero in left. Did I have that right?
You are correct.
Thank you, sir. No balls and a strike to McCormick. And the pitch lifted foul out of the plate on the right side, and it is 0-2, a 99-mile-an-hour fastball by Mason Montgomery.
Well, they don't swing and miss at fastballs, do they? I don't know that they've swung and missed at a fastball in any of the pitchers the Rays have had out there.
They have struck out only 3 times today. Surprisingly, Abreu didn't strike any Ray out. And the pitch hit him. Came up and in and got him either. Well, that got the hitter McCormick, and then Carrington hit the umpire, Chris Siegel. And from the way the arm was dangling by the side of Chas McCormick, that got him in the elbow somewhere. So hit by a pitch ball. And McCormick will be at first, and that'll give another chance to Jeremy Pena. McCormick being tended to by a trainer. Clearly is trying to stay in the game. Takes off his batting glove. And it got him right in the arm. And McCormick will remain in. That's one of those ones. There's no getting out of the way of it. I can't imagine anybody that could jump back out of the way as fast as that thing was bearing down on Chas McCormick.
In that moment, you're hoping you just don't get injured.
Dave Clark, the first baseman, with a comforting arm around the shoulder there for a moment. So McCormick's being held by Meade, and here's the dangerous Jeremy Pena. 4-3 Houston, 9th inning, 2 out. The first pitch called strike. It's 0-1.
I did look it up. 8 swings and misses the entire night by Houston. 2 on the fastball.
Tell you what, that's about it. I mean, can you do any better than that? Not much. No balls, 1 strike. Montgomery with a look to first and now pitching. Low and in. For the fastballs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pena, 3 hits today, plus his typical stellar job at shortstop. Look at that. Nobody active has a higher average against the Rays than Jeremy Pena. Ahead of Ohtani, ahead of Marcell Ozuna. 368 career hitter. Jeremy Pena against the Rays. And now the 1-1. Half swing and a miss. And it's 1-2.
And it was the slider that got him.
How can he put him away? 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count. Montgomery well above strikeout per inning this year. Time is asked for by Pena, granted by Chris Siegel. Again, bottom of the 9th against Hader. It'll be Chandler Simpson, Curtis Mead, and Taylor Walls. Simpson's going to see a bunch of sliders from Hader. You can bet on that. 1-2. And Montgomery throws to first, and they got McCormick caught. Mead throws down to second. Loud tags him out. That's the second time that's happened today on Chas McCormick. Caught stealing. 1-3-4. The Rays are down only 1 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. But Josh Hader coming on. It's Houston 4.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term.
Today. Josh Hader is perfect this year. 11-11 in saved chances and 29 strikeouts in 20 innings. The Rays trying to change all that. Down 4-3 in the 9th.
Got a save with a pair of strikeouts yesterday. And even beyond the 11 for 11 in saves is the fact that in every game he's appeared this year, the Astros have won. He's appeared in 18 games. They've won every single one of them. Chandler Simpson starts off and takes slider, low and away, ball 1. Paredes pulled in shallow at third. And this is the engine right now for the Rays. You get Simpson aboard, and he will make things happen. And he'll put pressure on the defense, too. On 1-0, swung on and fouled back. Got a fastball at 95. But it's not just 95. It's the twist of the body. It's the arm angle. It's the whip from the pitch, from the arm of Hader that delivers the pitch. He's just so difficult to square up, let alone put a ball in play on 1-1. Simpson takes outside, 2-1. One thing we have known, though, about Chandler, he has not shrunk in the big moments. He's been at his best in spots where they really need him. Driving in runs, no less. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here he comes. Swing line foul onto the screen left side. Got a fastball at 90. Oh, and catcher's interference is called on Victor Caratini. What a break for the Rays. They get the fastest man in the league aboard. And Simpson is on.
When you're trying to steal strikes, that's not how you steal it. You basically gave the Rays an opportunity free of charge, and yeah, he got the glove on that bat.
So the tying run is on. Simpson will be held by Walker. The batter is Curtis Mead. Simpson holds, and the first pitch high and outside, ball one.
Hader's got a bit of a leg kick, but he's only allowed one stolen base. Part of that is he doesn't allow many base runners.
It's a very large part of it. 1 ball to no strikes. Chandler leads away again. Not a huge lead. Not going. Mead swings and chumps one high in the air towards third. Paredes has to wait for the hop. Throws to first in time. Simpson gets to second base.
All right. I don't know if you saw this, but Chandler Simpson rounded second and collided with Jose Altuve and wanted interference for impeding him trying to go to third. And I don't know if we'll get a look at it, Andy, but he had notions of trying to go first to third on the play. They're just showing the replay of the play at first base, and Walker made a good stretch and pick, but there was a collision there at second base. They could have called interference.
Now it's Taylor Walls batting right-handed. Simpson breaks for third, got a great jump, and the pitch is a strike, and he flies into third base. Head first, the tying run at third with one out.
Well, he didn't get third the first time. He got it the second. Now you get 2 shots at tying the game up.
The Astros have left the door open. Infield comes in. It's up to Taylor Walls to move the baseball. Contact play will be on. What you don't want is a pop-up here. On 0-1, the pitch on the way to Walls. He goes to bunt, but bunts it in the air. It is caught by a sliding Altuve, and back to third goes Simpson. And for those that were wondering why he didn't bunt last time, we might have seen why. Rays do not have a sac bunt this season because, frankly, not many can do it.
Well, part of that is Hader because he throws high fastballs, Andy. It's a tough pitch to bunt on and get it down, and he got it somewhat in the air, and because Altuve was in and on the dirt or on the grass, he was able to make the play. He had to slide to do it.
So what's the delay now? Home plate umpire Chris Siegel is going to the mound to say something to Hader.
I think is it a pitch comm issue? Or is there do they want a mound meeting here? And I guess they have one here for the 9th inning still.
Well, they're going to discuss things against Royfield. There's no one to pinch hit. And this is a very difficult matchup for anybody, in particular a left-handed batter.
It just showed the bunt again. It's just, fans will say, oh, you got to get the bunt down. Next time I try and bunt out a 94-mile-an-hour fastball around my shoulders, it'd be the first time I do it, and to get it down on the ground is not easy. You get it down, Simpson scores, but very difficult to do.
All right, well, it'll come down to Hader against Rortvedt. We're 2 out, runner at third. And the first pitch is there for a strike, and it's 0-1. And batting for the first time tonight, he is hitting .096 on the season. Hader, third base side of the rubber, on top, and pitches. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He could somehow get aboard, even if it's on a walk or anything. You do have Yandy Diaz in the on-deck area. Right fielder Smith very deep. Outfield deep all the way around. They give him the gap in right center. The pitch. He popped him up. Foul, third base side, giving chase as Paredes might have a play. He does. Reaching over the railing to make the catch and end the night. The Rays were that close to giving Hader his first blown save of the year, but it was not to be, and the Astros win it by the final score of 4-3. We'll come back and get you set for the postgame in a moment on the Rays Radio Network.
All the talks we've had over the years,